offer, okay? So we're going to get into that. But first in the news, I want to share, Disney was in discussion to buy most of 21st Century Fox. And while those talks have cooled substantially due to disagreements over price and other terms, the Wall Street Journal says that those talks could be restarted. Nabbing parts of Fox would bring a giant library of movie channels and characters from The Simpsons to X-Men to National Geographic into Disney's already formidable arsenal, as well as strengthen the Mouse House, that's what they call it, the Mouse House's international presence. It would also allow Fox to focus on its news and sports offerings. And the discussion came as competition heats up in the entertainment space. We talk about it here all the time, you know. Heavyweights like Apple, Netflix, and Amazon are upping their content efforts. Would you agree, Rev?
I would agree.
Yeah, they are definitely trying to be a powerhouse, right?
Competitive.
Quite competitive. Now, have you heard of WeWork?
WeWork, I haven't heard.
You haven't heard of them? All right. So WeWork is a co-working startup that's now currently valued at $20 billion. And right now, they are considering starting a private elementary school called We Grow to teach young children all about entrepreneurship.
That is wonderful.
Isn't that wonderful to start at
yes,
at the very early years. In fact, the pilot program only has 7 students, one of which is the WeWork's co-founder, right? And so it's taking place in New York City, of course, of all places. But they say there is no reason why children in elementary schools can't be launching their own businesses, says the co-founder. So I would agree with you that the earlier you learn some things, the better.
The better training ground.
Yes. Now, do you teach the youth over there at the church various things, you know, try to get to them early with community service and everything?
Community service, entrepreneurship, you know, things to abstain from in order to be successful, yes.
Yes. So you agree that the earlier the better, and that's what WeWork is saying by planning to start and create their own private school and see what the outcome of that is. And I guess with 7 students, that's going to be quite a intense class, and they can get some individuals, instructions and response too. So that also helps, right? A room full of about 40, 50 kids doesn't allow for the same thing as a room with 7 would do.
You can do much better smaller.
You can, yes, you can. I would agree with that. Now, Apple's Paradise Papers revelation. So these Paradise Papers is a massive leak. 13.4 million documents were exposed. Financial information from numerous high-level figures and corporations, including Apple, which has allegedly been sheltering billions of dollars in Channel Islands. So, after a crackdown on Apple's tax practices in Ireland in 2013, the company canvassed multiple new locations for its offshore profits and ultimately settled on a small island in Jersey, which doesn't usually tax foreign income, so according to the New York Times. But Apple says its post-crackdown structure change didn't reduce the company's tax load. The California firm also said it's still the world's largest taxpayer, shelling out about $35 billion in corporate taxes over the past 3 years. That's just in taxes, right?
That is mammoth. That's huge, yeah.
$35 billion over the last 3 years. So that's an average of about $10 billion a year in taxes. That is a lot that is going on. Now, Obamacare enrollment has surged.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would think that that's a good thing. We thought that it was sort of going to be gone to the wayside.
Right, but the way it's been attacked,
by the current administration. Right. But according to multiple reports, although official figures haven't yet been released, over 200,000 Americans selected a plan on November 1st when it opened. So, so that is a lot when the open enrollment started. So that is good. That was reported by the Chicago Tribune, and that's more than double last year's opening day count. So maybe they are running to it because of what has happened, as opposed to, doing it when Obama first presented it years ago.
Right.
But they say over 1 million have visited the healthcare.gov, and that is a 33% increase over, from last year. So that's good. So it's a good thing.
Certainly. quite the contrary of what we've been hearing, you know, about how it was decreasing, yeah.
Right, exactly, right. So you always have to check your sources with regards to anything that comes out. And so most of my news, I just want everybody to know that I get on a daily, it's a professional news link within LinkedIn. It is what information that, you know, professionals are interested in hearing about, a little bit about it here and there, so you can always check your facts there. They have links directly to the reports. I just want to know that I'm just here to report it and share it, right? I have done no
fact check out.
right, you fact check this information yourself. I just want you to know, but I just wanted to be able to share with them. Now, when we come back, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to find out a little bit more about this minister I have in the house right here, Reverend Dr. Robert L. House, who has, how long have you been the minister of New Life Baptist Church?
Been there 31 years.
31 years. So I guess what you're going to be telling us, I don't have to fact check. You know for sure, right? You have been there, and you have been
living witness.
Right. That's what I mean. I think if I had to fact check, I'd have to get to you, right, in order to get to the information. So I'm so glad that you are here today, and I see a lot of the members of the Aquarama Foundation are chiming in and saying good afternoon to you. And again, another congratulations on receiving the award. And your award was in the area of family strengthening, and that's what we're going to be talking about, is how what you do for ex-offenders and drug abusers that are coming back into society, and what you're trying to do. You are listening to Bertina Power on urbanbroadcastmedia.com. This is EmPower Hours. Don't forget to follow and like us at Bertina Power on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Snapchat. We will be right back after these messages. All right, good job. We just got to get this mic down here so you can talk directly into the mic. Huh? You sound like my mama. She was just like, man, I didn't realize that was that fast.
Well, you have to be able to.
Yeah, and you know they got a clock, so they keep us on time around here. Yes. So then we're going to get into, you know, you and what's going on, and then we'll share.
I'll follow your lead, and I'll try to be prompt.
You do good, but now, right, now it's going to be about you. So now you got to dwell into the conversation, talking to the mic. You can't ever be too loud on talking to them. I just want you to know that. There's never too loud on the radio, right? Okay, but let's just say hi to a few people. Hey, oh yeah, tons of the sorors are joining in. That's Constance, Yolanda, Tamiko, Mr. James Mees, Gina. Hey everybody, and Tia, Cheryl. Thanks for joining everybody. I know this call is a call I've been waiting on all day. This is Bertina. I'm good, Michelle. Guess what? So I do a live radio show, and I knew you were going to be calling me right in the middle of that. So I'm on break, and I know that this is your number. So if I can I call you back as soon as I'm done, or you can call me back at about 1:15 in an hour from now? In an hour. Okay, thank you. All right. Sorry about that. You know how busy mothers, working mamas, and everybody has to do call I've been waiting for all morning. It's going to come right in the middle of my show. Hey, YouTube over here. This is Urban Broadcast Media's live YouTube and Facebook page. So hi, everybody out there that is listening. This is EmPower Hour and Bertina Power Facebook pages that you're going live on. So we'll be able to, you can let your parishioners and anybody know they can come and see your video that was recorded today, so it'll be stored on Facebook, and you know, and that they can come and take a look at it and see. You're on Facebook. We gotta find you. We gotta friend you then, and make sure. Okay, well, good. Then so we're gonna talk about where that is then, and tell everybody so that they can go and friend you there. Okay. And that sounds good. That is absolutely perfect. That we're going to do that. All right. You ready? Okay. Hey, everybody. I know she takes my music out of my ear, and I can't keep track of what's going on. I can't hear now. I have to like really watch and pay attention. So, all right, now we're gonna get ready to talk about you. That means you're gonna be talking about you, and we're gonna be talking about what it is that we do over there. Hello. All right. Hello, hello. Okay, there we are. How are you? Welcome back to EmPower Hour on Urban Broadcast Media. My name is Bertina Power, and we're here weekdays at noon. And our goal is to educate, enrich, and empower others that are listening out there, Reverend Robert. And one of the things that this week is all about, we are following after the They Don't Make a Chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority's 95th anniversary held this Sunday. And the Akurama Foundation, their 501c3, and what it is that they do for giving back as a part of the service they've been doing for, the sorority's been doing for 110 years almost, and that chapter has been doing for 95 years. But then to say there are those that are out here doing the work, as you said, for 31 years,
Yes.
you know, and you just do get up every day to do what you do out of, you know, out of your passion for others and for that service that comes from what happens when we do that. And we wanted to just extend that honor, if you will, by bringing you all on so we can talk a little bit more about the person behind this, you know, and how others, and what others can do to help you. So tell me, Reverend Robert, you started at Chicago State, Reverend Robert House, Senior.
Right.
All right, there's a junior somewhere, so we have to make sure we have to say Reverend Robert House Senior. So Reverend Robert House, you started at Chicago State, right here in Chicago. You born and raised here?
No, I was born in the South, in the Delta area, a town called Indianola, Mississippi.
Oh, you're from Mississippi. I think you're my second
Right.
Mississippi I've had on this show since I started. So you, by way of family, you got here?
Right. My mother passed and I came to Chicago and I've been here, you might say 80% of my life. Here.
Okay, okay. So I think we can bless you as a Chicagoan. No,
Sure.
yes.
I have more time here than Mississippi.
More time here in Mississippi. All right. We always remember where we come from,
Right.
but now Chicago is considered your home. So you were at Chicago State for
Right.
school initially?
Right, I attended school at night, formerly Kennedy King and then Chicago State.
Okay.
You know, working during the day and going to school at night before I graduated.
What got you to the point of deciding to go into divinity?
Well, I entered the ministry in the 70s out of the United Methodist Church, and
Okay.
I always had a passion for the ministry and men like Martin Luther King Jr., Adam Clayton Powell, many of those were my heroes, and the kind of work that they did, especially outreach work and for humanity, it really struck me, and I believe that was, one of the calling aspects of my life.
All right. And so then you went on and pursued.
Right after I graduated from Chicago State, about 2 months later, I went to school in Evanston, a United Methodist Seminary there on the northwestern campus, where I spent 3 years there receiving a Master's of Divinity degree.
All right. And then you went from there to get your doctoral.
Right. I have a honorary doctorate from the AME Church, the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and then a doctorate degree from the Richmond School of Theology.
Okay. And so all the while, Doc, were you just in school? Did you get married, have children all this time?
Got married,
Okay.
and my wife and I, we have 2 sons and several grandsons. So I've been married over 40 years.
All right. Well, congratulations on that. So 40 years married, and then at some point they're 40 plus, right? Okay. We're going to get that number right, all right? You're supposed to know exact number, date, month, and down to the
I can
time.
give you all of it. I have everything to the letter.
To the letter.
February 13, 1969.
Oh, well, then that's what I'm talking about, Reverend Robert House Sr. That is exactly what I'm talking about. So you got the date. So now you came out of school with your doctoral, but did you go right into the ministry full time, or did you work as well?
Well, I was, I had sort of like a dual career.
Okay.
In addition to pastoring in the United Methodist Church, I began with Commonwealth Edison, the utility industry, where I spent about 7.5 years in management. Worked at the Dresden Nuclear Station in Morris, Illinois, and then in advertising and public affairs, downtown Chicago area.
Okay, all right.
And so while I was doing that, I later gave up the Commonwealth Edison position, resigned, and went into the ministry full time.
Okay, so you left the corporate, what would be considered work,
Right.
corporate job, and then went into ministry full time.
Right.
All right. So then, while you were, but you also did a little bit of social service, right?
Well, I did quite a bit. I would say that I've had a multi-type career, in a number of different areas, but I've had about 17 to 20 years in social service, working for Safer Foundation 5 years, Human Resources Development, better known as HRDI, for 7.5 years.
All right.
The Chicago Christian Industrial League, and served on their board. So I've had close to 17 to 20 years in the social service field.
All right, so that sort of put you and prepped you for exactly where it is that you wind up going, which would be into ministry for others with the social work and all of that. Okay, so it's good to hear, like I always tell, it's good to hear how did you, how you got to exactly where you are, because sometimes you've gotten through struggles, sometimes it just, came by way, but then, I guess as you were, working and doing, what thought came into your head? Because you said people like Martin Luther King.
Well, I always had a passion for helping people.
Okay.
And I understood through my training and education in my life that ministry is more than just preaching and teaching to a group.
Absolutely.
That it must become a reality. It must materialize itself in terms of the service you render to people.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say there has been a struggle in the sense that I didn't receive anything by virtue of no mother or father that left me anything, or no one handed off to me anything. It has been a struggle in terms of, when I say a struggle, not that that's a complaint, but that it has not been just an easy journey, something handed off to me.
Right.
And it had always been in my heart to help people, because I think that anything you do, if it's void of helping people, it's more self-serving than
self-serving in that.
Right.
All right. Well, we are going to come back and finish this conversation with Reverend Robert House Sr., who is the pastor of New Life
Baptist Church.
Absolutely.
Can I give the address?
Please.
We're located in the heart of the Roseland community, 11026 South Indiana Avenue, sitting right in front of the Gwendolyn Brooks High School.
All right. We're going to come back and talk to him a little bit more. You are listening to UrbanBroadcastMedia.com. I am Bertina Power, and this is EmPower. I will be right back with Reverend Robert House Sr. Sorry about that. We went over our time, but that's okay. Yes, absolutely. And we're gonna wind up giving that address again and all the ways to connect. Yes, that's what we're getting going to now.
Grammy awarded musical director Dr. Willetta Green Johnson, featuring Chicago's own multi-awarded recording artist, R&B songstress.
Okay, so I will ask us to lead into that question. So we're gonna talk about what it is that you do every day. Who are the individuals that come, and be sure to share with them that you don't get government service to do all of these things, that this is by the hearts and the love and the bags of volunteers and gifts, but paint a picture as to what happens daily around the church, as to what's happening, who's coming, where they're coming from, what are you giving them when they're there, that kind of a thing, okay? So,
graphically or descriptively to present that, we can get a good feel of
yes,
picture like
right,
this.
Exactly, that's what I said, because some people are listening and they don't see us at all. Some are seeing us and hearing us at the same time, but I want to give everybody that opportunity to touch to it, to find a place for it in their
If you are a rising eighth grader or know of
what it
any,
is.
tell them and their families to visit go.cps.edu to start learning about CPS high schools and subscribe to receive important announcements about the opening of the application system in August. This message is brought to you by Urban Broadcast Media.
Urban Broadcast Media, let's see what else we have.
Let your voice be heard. Call the UDM radio hotline at 312-754-4333. UDM Radio.
All right. You are back with us, and you are listening to EmPower Hour on UrbanBroadcastMedia.com. I am Bertina Power, and in the studio today, I have with me Reverend Robert L. House Sr., who is the head pastor, I would say, the minister of New Life Baptist Church Outreach of Chicago in the Roseland area, and he is here as one of the recipients from Akamama Foundation on this past Sunday that I wanted to give an opportunity to share more about what it is that he's been doing for 30 plus years out there in the Roseland area for everybody, because your doors are open to everybody, but specifically you are doing this work for the homeless and ex-offenders and drug abusers, correct?
Right, and people in need, people unemployed, whatever, they may be going through and have a need. Anyone can come in regardless of your faith, regardless of whether you're an atheist or a believer. you can come in and receive the benefits of what we have to offer. We offer a lot of the basics, but let me say this before I begin. Let me thank you, Bertina, for the invite today and for the award that I received on this past Sunday. I'm very grateful for that. First, let me say that.
You're so very welcome, and I know I speak for the entire membership.
Yeah.
Congratulations, and you are welcome.
Thank you. But we provide a lot of what you call basic humanitarian services. Before you get to anything else, everybody needs food to eat. We need a roof over our head. We need the hygiene items. We need a good, safe, secure place to feel loved and to be received. So the program that we operate, my wife is the director of the program, and you was talking about the church. We began the church 31 years ago as the founding pastors along with 15 people.
Oh, wow.
We have a building that's about 14,000 square feet, a Bible school type building with 3 floors. The building would be closed right now if we didn't have the vision. If we didn't have the vision to be doing what we're doing, it'd just be another building closed up through the week. So she began this ministry back in 2001, 16 years ago, starting off with coffee and rolls and stuff like that for people to come in to have a seat to be secure and safe. The ministry has grown now to 25 hours a week on Monday from 9 to 5, Wednesday from 9 to 1, Wednesday evening from 5 to 7:30, and again on Friday from 9 to 1. We have showers put in the building. We have a kitchen area, and the people who come in, they receive hot meals. They come from a shelter in the community, and people that are walking the street each day, they come in off the street, men and women, to get a hot meal, to get some clothes to wear. We provide clothes. They can get a hygiene packet. They can receive Christian counseling. We also provide referral services to them, try to network with other social service agencies that can help them. These men and women are unemployed. They have no jobs. They have no particular place they can call their home, like apartment or house, anything. So we provide this service, and it's a great service because most of the men and women, if they didn't have a place like this to come to, they would have to walk the street through. They carry their backpacks on their back, their bags and so forth, and they have to survive in the parks, in the streets, in the library during the day. And you can just imagine how this would be in the wintertime, in the summer when the heat is extremely hot. So we're not only providing these basic services of shower, food, clothing, and so forth, but they have a warm place they can come to where they can feel safe and not threatened.
So Reverend House, you are not, they're not sleeping there. There is no overnight stay there. But as long as the doors are open, I can come and stay. So I can come at 9 and I can stay until 5 on Monday if that is, okay, so I can do that. And you're telling me I can not only get a hot shower, and then I can get a hot meal, and I can rest my my legs and my back, and I can sit down and get clothes and get some fresh clean clothes.
Outer clothes that you may need,
and this is men, women, and children.
Men, women, and children, and these are some crucial services or crucial needs that people have, because many times we think about the extra things or the larger things we need in life. But just imagine if you didn't have daily food, or you didn't have clothes to wear, somewhere to go, you wouldn't be thinking about these other things like college degrees and a car and a house.
So what phone wouldn't do? iPhone,
this is right.
Yeah, you wouldn't be caring about any of that. You are just trying to say, how can I get to tomorrow, or even to tonight, right? At this point in time, because I get, I know I have heard through the years, obviously I've been involved in the service arena for years now. I grew up in a house where my mother, also a member of the sorority, as you heard, and we've been of giving back my entire life. So that's all I know, and I've been trying to teach my younger son the same thing. And in fact, he was here on the show with me, and I'm gonna offer this up, but we were reading an article that weekend about a young boy out of school that had started these blessing bags, is what he called them, and in it pretty much was some toiletries, maybe a granola bar or something, and he would just hand them out at wherever they were to anybody that they came across, that was homeless, and the parents had to keep them in the car to do that. And I said, Brandon, that's a good one, because we do food food all the time, but I say maybe we can have Brandon's blessing bags.
Right.
Where we can put the toiletries in there, soap, toothpaste, disposable toothbrush or whatever. But now we can bring those bags right down there to your church and be a part of what it is that you give away.
This is right, because everything began small, and if it's successful, it'll grow larger. The work we do, we have a group of volunteers that come together from different churches. Some may not be from any church, but they come in and they help volunteer. They cook and clean and help. With no thought of this being mine, but we all come together as a conglomerate group of people that's concerned, and many of the people are senior citizens. We also have groups up in Northwood and Winnetka, Kenilworth, the North Shore area. They bring food in.
They just come down and bring
things in for what we're doing, because the work we do, we do not receive this support. We do not receive the support for what we're doing through any city, state, or federal funding.
That was gonna be my next comment. So you're not doing that at all. You're not getting any assistance from anywhere else. This is pure assistance from those who are giving. That is where you get it from.
It's from volunteerism, and we find churches that will support us, civic groups, fraternities, sororities, larger churches that will support what we're doing. Once they come in and do a site visit, and they see what we're doing, that we are legit. We have exemption at the state level. We're 501c3.
Okay.
We've been exempt since 1986. We received our exemption from the Internal Revenue in 1986. We're exempt at the state level. We have zoning. We have all of the necessary legal things in place. And when people see what we're doing, that we're not a large social service agency getting city, state, and federal money, that we're doing this strictly by using the building that we own and the infrastructure already in place, the utilities and everything. People are willing to help, and so we've gotten help before from the Buffalo Soldiers, the Eastern Stars. We've gotten other fraternal groups that have helped us. And once people know what we're doing and they see what we're doing in the inner city, and then people are willing to reach out and help.
Yeah,
we don't have a lot of competition. We're the only church. There's not a church in the third largest city, which is Chicago, that does 25 hours a week for the homeless. Many of them do a Saturday once a month or twice a month, but we have a structured program, 25 hours every week.
So 25 hours every week, your doors are open. Now, what a vision to decide to ascertain a building at 3 stories, that obviously at the time, I'm assuming you planned to know that you were going to be holding workshops or bringing people in to accommodate the space, and then you had to put the showers in, I would assume, later, right? So that was a cost.
Yeah, that was a cost, and the building has 22 classrooms in it, little small classrooms.
Yes.
And this building was just a God gift building because, well, it's a God gift building if one has a vision to utilize it.
Properly.
We have shared space and so forth, and there's so much more we want to expand and do that is, we might say, attended necessary things for people besides feeding people and clothing people and caring for people. You want to encourage them to get the identification pieces in it so they'll have that for future jobs. To make sure that they become more aware of how to make it in society. Giving those ex-offenders a chance to know that you can have a turnaround life. People that have been on drugs to know that abstention can take place in your life, that you can rewrite your life history and so forth. So we have a mixture of people that's coming together. Maybe some it's like physical issues, some it's like mental issues or whatever it may be. But they're all God's people, and they just need a hand up and someone that's willing to reach out to them.
Without judgment.
Sir, without judging them and without, just kicking them to the curb. So my wife and the group had a vision, but prior to that, we had a facility there where we dealt with single women with children. We did that for 6 years. Back in the middle 90s. Women with children could stay there. We had the whole full. That's when we gained the zoning to be able to do that in the community. So here is a church that has a membership of less than 50 people.
I was going to ask you how big your membership was. So you started with 15, and you're
at
50.
We have grown up to around 75 people or 50. We were never what you call a large congregation. So this is another thing it showed what a small group of people can do.
Can actually do.
When their minds are made up to want to do it. Versus sometimes you could have 1,000 and not doing anything in the
Not
area.
impacting this many people.
Right.
Right, and so, and I can come every day that you're open, there is no limit to my coming
You
in.
can come those Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. but
Right,
we
that's what I
even
mean.
have staff available. If a person came on a Tuesday or a Thursday and said,
Mhm.
look, we have some items we wanna donate, toilet paper, paper
Gotcha.
towels, coffee cups, cream and sugar, stuff like that, we need quite a bit of.
Okay,
And
okay.
so people can drop off and, deliver those items. Matter of fact, one of your good members of the group is the linkage here that
Yes.
we began working with.
Yes,
That
yes.
have led into this connection.
Well, and the more I hear you talk, the more I know exactly my current position, some things that we can do, because we have, events held at our building on a regular basis, and you can't imagine how many sugar packets and milk and all these things that happen, and the first thing they turn to me, because they know me to know this one thing: I don't believe in throwing anything out that is surely could be consumed by somebody else who does not have, right? First and foremost, who doesn't have and could use it, and that's the first thing that we do. So we always are taking food and finding a place to do so. It's always nice now to know of a place where like you said,
Right.
we come in and we know for a fact that this isn't going home with volunteers,
Right, right.
and that it is really going to those that need it.
Gonna be used there, and see, in your particular group, it's the AKA, right?
Mhm.
There are a lot of those members in this particular sorority that they're in other organizations.
Absolutely.
They're in other groups, and
Mhm.
so, those $500 or $1,000 or $3,000, whatever it may be during the year, that they wanna give to an organization that they know is actually doing what they say they're doing.
Mhm.
And they can come out there and see it firsthand, what we're doing, and see the impact of it. The ministry then can expand even more, and we can encompass more services.
And
for
give
people.
more people. But you're also, besides those basic needs, you're doing some counseling and mentoring.
We're doing counseling, we're doing mentoring, we're also doing referral services.
Mhm.
We're also doing other kind of things in the area of alcohol and drug abuse. We're doing things in the area of reentry, people who are getting out of the penal system. We're doing a lot of things in terms of just reconnecting people with their families.
Right.
Giving people an opportunity to see. A lot of our clientele does not have a state ID, so we're letting them know you need to get this state ID.
Just to get services.
Right, to get services or to apply for a job
Mhm.
in order for people to identify you.
Right, and so then I can come from anywhere, is what you're saying. I don't have to be a resident or be homeless just in the area of
Anywhere
Roseland.
and
I can come
anywhere.
from anywhere, and so can your volunteerism as donations can come from
Certainly.
anywhere. So we want to take this moment now and let everybody that is watching or hearing the sounds of our voice, you are listening to Bertina Power on EmPower Hour at Urban Broadcast Media, but I am continuing to honor those who are doing good in the hood by having on Reverend Robert L. House Sr. of New Life Baptist Church Outreach of Chicago, who is located at, give him the address
We're
again.
located at 11026 South Indiana Avenue in Chicago, in the Roseland community. And can I give the phone
What's the
number
zip
and
code
everything?
too?
The
Because
zip
some people
code-
might wanna mail some
Okay, the
things.
zip code is 60628. That's
Okay.
60628, 11026 South Indiana Avenue, the New Life Baptist Church.
All right, and then yes, please give them an email or a phone number.
Right, and the email is newlife11026 at sbcglobal.net. That's newlife11026 at sbcglobal.net. And if you wanna call, the number is 773-550-7960. Again, that's 773-550-7960. And my name again is Robert L. House Sr.
Right, and I know my listeners that are out here, just as you said, they're going to find a way. I know you all over here on UBM, YouTube, and all of the Facebook pages will find a way to get something. But as they are, as you stated, members of various organizations, I know I've got 100 Black Men on here, I know I've got Jack and Jill on here, I know I've got sororities and fraternities on here, and I know I have some teen groups that, that also look for ways to volunteer in service. Now, a lot of these times are obviously during school time, and maybe a little bit harder, but Monday after school is available. I see maybe the Wednesday evening
right.
that
And
you're
then we have
doing.
people who come there and do community hours from
Mhm.
the educational system and from the judicial system that can come and do community hours. And we allow community hours on those days that we're not
Opening,
yeah.
gotcha,
Right.
okay.
We have, the building is available Monday through Friday.
So
Access.
there is an opportunity for a group or an organization to reach out to you in one of these means and
Right.
methods. They can stop by the location, they can email you at newlife11026@sbcglobal.net. They can call at 773-550-7960, and they can then say, hey, look, I got a group, we wanna come, we wanna give some hours collectively as, as an organization, and I'm sure you'd be willing to open the doors and take whatever they're gonna bring in as well as those hours.
We have some groups right now that come in from Northbrook, come in from Maywood, Illinois. We're getting ready to do a huge things for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Of course.
And people come in and partner with us and help. And people that wanna give a charitable donation during the year as a write-off of whatever the humane reason may be, their gift is tax deductible at the state and federal
And you will
level.
give them a letter with
We'll
regards to
We'll
that.
give them a letter, whatever they need to confirm that they have done what they've done.
All right, you are listening to Urban Broadcast Media. We're gonna take a break right now. Don't forget to download the UBM app. If you wanna call in or you have a comment, feel free to do so by calling 312-754-4333 and talk to Reverend Robert House Sr. about what it is, the great things that they are doing good in the hood. It was just normally my Wednesday, highlight that I do, but this week I'm doing it every day. So I really appreciate you, and again, congratulate you, and thank you again for deciding to come on the show. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back and finish talking to Reverend Robert House, and then see what else is going on in the community and around town. We'll be right back after these messages. Yes, that was good. That was perfect.
Right, Channel 5, they did one on our top here on Channel 5.
How long
Making a difference in the community.
Those make a difference in the
Last year.
Just last year, okay. All right, well, that's exactly it. So we're gonna be wrapping it up. Now, when we come back, we'll talk about a few things that are going on, and just remind people, we've had all these people join us. Hey, Stevie, hey, Eugene. Well, no, most people don't call because they're at work.
Well, they just connected.
Yeah, they connected on here. Yes, they tell me who all these people are. Randy, Dennis, Ken, Shanae, Erica, Daphne, Kevin. Yeah, and then some of them will say, they'll say hi or they'll do something. And then some will watch it later. And then they will chime in again and say something, and they'll get ready to do the work. So we want to make sure we let them know what it is to be done.
To our efforts to help our neighbors in need in Puerto Rico, Florida, and Houston in the wake of the
Yes, this is fantastic. But yes, we will get ready to make these blessing bags. I spent a lot of time in the hotel. They got all them soap and toothpaste things, and we were like, well, and my biggest thing was where would they go to get a hot shower?
Let us be our brother's keeper. Give now to relief efforts of our region hurricanes. A message from the men and UBM Radio.
Over 25, 30 years ago.
Yeah, what a vision. That is exactly the kind of stuff that I'm ready, that gets me excited.
UBM Radio.
All right. Welcome back to Urban Broadcast Media, and I am your host, Bertina Power. I was sitting here talking on the break with Reverend Robert House, who is the minister of New Life Baptist Church of Outreach of Chicago, right on the 110th and Indiana in the Roseland area. He's been there 31 years.
Since 1987.
Yes, he's been there a long time. Him and his wife, what a powerhouse couple you all together. And she runs as the director and you're the minister, but that your vision, one, allowed you all to see past what was going on, like you said, with just getting in the pulpit and talking about the Word of God, which is obviously a good thing, but past that, saying, what are we going to do on every other day past Sunday, right? Which is that what are we going to do for those that are in need? And you all bought acquired a building, a big building at the time, a schoolhouse, right? You said it was?
Yeah, it was a Bible school. We bought the building in 1987 for $400,000.
Wow.
In 87.
87. So you bought this big building that had all these small rooms, which almost designed to be able to have a room where you're telling me you all created initially some space for women and children.
So
and
we have a dining room seats about 100. Community room seats about 75. A chapel seats 100. Another chapel seat 250. on top of the classrooms.
On
3
top of the
floors.
classrooms.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, see, now multiple levels allows for a variety of things to
Sure.
happen, that is for sure. And then that not only are you doing the work of giving the basic needs, like the soap and the food and the clothing and the hot shower. I mean, I just can't even imagine that opportunity to have a hot shower when you are living on the street. And you're not charging me for it.
Not charging.
You're not
You know
charging
what
me
else too?
anything.
When they come in aside from the shower, here's the kind of food they get: turkey, hams, chicken, they get greens and macaroni and cheese, candy yam. I mean, it's a laid out meal.
It is a Thanksgiving meal, sounds like pretty much every day.
And that's almost, on Monday, they get 2.5 meals.
Okay.
Wednesday, they get 2.
Okay, because you said I can come and stay all day. If I come at 9, I can take a shower, I can relax.
You can get your clothes and everything to
Mhm.
wear, and then we have a break in between before the afternoon part kicks
Gotcha.
in. And we have volunteers who come in and share the word of God, but we also network with the night ministry. They bring in different items, and they also do the medical side. They do testing for HIV, hepatitis, et cetera, et cetera.
I was gonna ask you about the medical piece, you
Yeah.
know, one, for the mental illness part, which
Mhm.
is obviously very important as well,
Right.
and then two, for those who might have any physical, living out on the street can be very harsh
Yeah.
on the body, right?
Yeah.
Broken bones, and I never get a chance to go to the hospital, you know, cuts and cracks, you know, scratches and glass and bruises and things like that. So you all are able to tend to them in that manner as well.
Right, we're able to refer them, Roseland Hospital is right
Yes,
there
that's
where we
right.
are in the community, a few blocks away.
Mhm.
We even have the library right there, the post office, the park, Gwendolyn Brooks School. So there are a lot of networking agencies and organizations right in the community.
Right in the community.
HRDI, other agencies that we can refer them to, let them know about various services that they can get. So we're trying to be more holistic in terms of the needs of people, the spiritual part, but also the basic.
But the basic, because you said you help with the restoration to the clientele, meaning you get your ex-offenders and drug abusers and anybody who's walking around without a proper ID of any kind, just so that's just one less thing. If you have proper ID, when somebody stops you or you are even attempting to go try to find work, you need these things,
But the police can pick you up for not having an ID when they take you to the police station and run a background check or check your fingerprints out to be sure there's no warrant or you're not wanted and so forth. But in order to get a job and to be considered for benefits today, you got to show some ID, letting people know who you are, especially in this dangerous time we're living in now. You certainly got to be able to match face with the person.
Right, and so that they will know, and that, like you said, that is a part of that basic piece that you're doing. So you do this, and you also go out and do motivational speaking and counseling yourself with others at other locations?
Matter of fact, I do quite a bit of, workshops, I do consultation work with the Chicago Area Project, I work with the Peace Center doing different parts with them, and everything. So I'm very much involved beyond just the pulpit or the confines of the church. I'm involved in social things, educational things, political things, religious things. You might say that the minister of today has to be fully involved.
Right.
And fully engaged in all aspects of life and living if we're going to meet people in this current modern time we live in.
Right, and Reverend House, you mentioned this earlier, but I just want to reiterate it. It is men, women, children, all races, all backgrounds. It doesn't matter at all to you who is walking through those doors to receive this
A
help.
person can walk in as a believer in Christ or a non-believer. They can walk in whatever political persuasion. All they have to do is come in and abide by our rules and regulations, abide by what it is we're doing.
The process.
Right. But nobody is discriminated against, nobody is excluded.
And you don't have to give reasons
stigmatized.
or anything, right?
They have to do nothing,
Because
just walk in and have a seat.
And
In
have a
the
seat.
morning, they have coffee and rolls, and then they go through the process of the program for the day and everything, and nothing has to do with your age, your gender, none of those kind of discriminatory processes when you come in. You don't have to be a member of the church, you don't have to be a Christian person, none of those are prerequisites.
now, what if I was a young kid? There's some young boys we know that are on the street all the time. Do I have to be in with a guardian or a parent to walk in the door if I'm under 18?
Well, if somebody walk in under 18, we would not challenge that or contest that.
Okay.
They could come in and have a seat. they can receive the same thing everybody else is receiving, as long as they're provided by everything. Naturally, if they would be, say, 12 or 13, 11 years old, we would want to know,
you might engage them with some conversation.
who is your parents,
Right.
how did you get here,
Right.
et cetera, because now we bear some responsibility with them being in our presence.
And that was why I was asking that, because obviously the younger unwatched individuals in this same space with some adults, you just don't know what could or could not happen.
Even though our program is set up where you're out in the open, sitting in a big open area, where everybody, nobody disappears into a room or another hidden or concealed area. But if we saw a young teenager or a young boy or girl, we would engage them as to how did you get here,
Gotcha.
how did you know, who is your parents, et cetera, because we don't want that responsibility now. You here with different age people on our premises, but we would be concerned beyond our premises as to, what's happening.
What's happening with this individual. Now, when you mentioned that, you said that you do in showers, so are those separated as well? The showers are?
We have 3 showers in a room, and each shower is a separate shower. And if anyone went in there, naturally would be women at one time.
Gotcha.
And if it would be 2 men in there, 3 men, each one got their section. But for some reason, the men are more self-conscious in this kind of situation, it seems, where very few go in together. They'll go in and he'll take his shower, get through and come out, then another person will come in. Unfortunately, we don't have as many taking showers as we deem should, because we know that it means a lot to be clean, and it means a lot to have that access.
And for your health too, as well. And that's what I'm saying, because some of these truck stops, I've been traveling all over the city, all over the country and abroad for years, and I've seen those truck stops where truckers, have that opportunity, but they charge you to take a shower in that. Yeah, you get charged.
Account at those places, because I was at one of them and I saw this guy come in, his name, but they maintain an account to be able to get those.
To pay and to have access to that. And so here's an opportunity for free access to not only food and clothing and some services, as well as just a warm environment, hygiene environments, a cool place in the summer, a warm place in the winter, all at no cost, no matter who you are and where you come from. In fact, what you're saying is I could be an individual and maybe have a house, but being on hard times and just can't even afford it. I don't have to give you any reason as to why I'm showing up, but feel the need, for access for the food or the clothing or anything of that nature.
You could be a homeowner and smell the good cooking and just walk in, have a seat. No one will say, "Are you homeless?" or "You can't." You can just dive right in.
You can just dive right in
and be included.
Well, you know what? Again, I have to continue to praise and give thanks to individuals like you for doing good in the hood, Reverend Robert House, Sr. of New Life Ministry Baptist Church Outreach of Chicago, located at 110, right?
26 South Indiana Avenue.
In Chicago.
606-28, phone number 773-550-7960, and the email is newlife11026@sbcglobal.net.
All right. So you heard it right here on Urban Broadcast Media, and congratulations again on your award received from the Akamrama Foundation and all the things that you did. You said NBC5 also gave you an award, so congratulations, because as you continue to just do what it is that you do from the kindness of your heart, then others will eventually see, and as you see, grow, right? So you've seen growth, obviously, from the 15, from when we say 19.
Yeah, from the beginning.
From the beginning.
I've seen it, and I believe very strongly, Bertina, that there's a scripture that says all things work together for good for them that are called by God to His purpose. So I believe that this moment here, the award, is all in the process. Of greater and bigger things.
Yeah, and me being here, because I'm fairly new at this. I'm only about a month.
Well, you've done well. You have all the trappings of a pro.
Well, thank you so very much. We want to also, while we're talking about what's good and free, and I want you to make sure your individuals know this, that at 6220 South Ingleside, that Akamrama Foundation, on the second Wednesdays of every month, we have free legal clinic. So outside of their personal injury, traffic, and criminal, they can come and talk about SSI, benefits, child custody, divorce, expungement. So that is free. And again, we ask no questions either. From 4 to 6, you can walk in, and lawyers are there, and they are offering all the help that they can. And we have had some great response from this, and we have continued to do this. We're now almost, I think, 7 years in doing this.
Is
and
it
it's the
possible
second
I can
Wednesday.
get a copy of that?
We will make sure you get that and
email.
send it out to everybody. Absolutely. We're going to make sure this happens for you, because it's every second Wednesday of the month for every month of the year that this happens from 4 to 6, okay? And they can walk, you know, take the bus, get there, get dropped off, you name it, they will get there and get served. Also on Saturday, November the 11th, I want to share with everybody that an inaugural Think HBCU College Fair will be happening from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the South Shore International Preparatory High School located at 1955 East 75th Street. And they'll be having a lot of fun things and educating those about being interested in going to colleges, and if you're going to college, to consider a historically black college and university as well as one of those places to attend. Now, Reverend House, every day as I close out my show, I do a quote. Now, and I picked this quote before the show starts, and I have no idea what you're going to say or what words will come from our conversation. But I tell you that the quote that I have for you today is exactly what needs to be said. It's a Gandhi quote. Okay. And it says, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And I believe that is what you and your wife have continued to do, and provide a place for those of us who like to do the very same thing. To find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Congratulations again.
That is a great quote. You'll forget about all your worries and trouble if you lose yourself with
if you
someone
lose
else.
yourself in what somebody else is concerned. That's what I continue to teach my young one and anybody who encounters me. And then that is that do for the others, and I promise you, you won't concern yourself about what is so bad in your life at this point in time, or what you think is so bad in your life at this point in time. We're coming up next at 1 p.m. with Mr. Mark Allen, Hear My Voice. You are and can always catch us on all of our social media at urbanbroadcastmedia.com. You can download the UBM app. You can go to YouTube as well as Facebook. Don't forget to follow and like me. It's at Bertina Power on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Snapchat. You're listening to EmPower Hour with Bertina Power. Thank you, Reverend House.
Thank you so much.
You're so very welcome. We'll see you tomorrow at noon with some more Doing Good in the Hood. Bye. Yeah.